All right, everybody, welcome to One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I am your host, Kirk DeMars, and thank you for joining me tonight, Monday, June 26th. How does that even happen? This month has flown by. It's almost July, and I cannot believe that we are already almost halfway through this year. Speaking of halfway through this year, we've had a lot of great student athletes come on here for interviews, as well as some other local personalities and also a few celebrities. We've had them come on too. But I'm telling you, it just seems to get better and better all the time. And tonight we're joined by Raegan Smart, a former New Bloomfield Wildcat. Now, when I show you her picture here, you're going to notice something that she seems to have a pretty competitive look. Like, I don't know about you, but having her standing there with that bat in her hand, I don't think I would want to be a pitcher going up against Raegan. She's absolutely got a lot of talent. Now, okay, so we're moving over there. She's sitting there smiling, looking all peaceful, but we got to get right back to with the bat in the hand. She's going to cause some damage when that ball comes in there. So she did that at New Bloomfield, and she's going to be doing that somewhere else here pretty soon. So with that, I want to go ahead and bring on Raegan Smart, and she is joining us from the sunny state of Florida. Welcome, Raegan.
Hello.
Yeah, you are suffering for humanity down there in Florida right now, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. No, it's
Yeah.
actually amazing.
Oh, very good. So you're going to be hitting some beaches and doing some different things like that, huh?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna try and do a lot for sure.
Okay, very good. Are you going to look for any pickup softball games on the beach, or are you just going to chill out?
I'm just gonna relax.
Okay,
There will be plenty of that in the fall.
okay, very good. Well, thank you for joining us on the program tonight. Really looking forward to just visiting with you a little bit more. Mentioned that you were in our May June issue of Sports Soccer Magazine and that you were from New Bloomfield High School. So you are a Wildcat. Tell us a little bit about being a Wildcat before I go into the other questions.
Well, usually when people ask where you're from, you say New Bloomfield, they're like, where is that at? And you're like, well, it's just outside of Jeff City. But it's definitely way more than that. It's a great town to grow up in, and I have the honor to be an alumni there now, but New Bloomfield's great. It's definitely a good community. Everyone knows everyone, so it's a good place to live in.
Yeah, that's good and that's bad too. Everybody knows everyone.
Yeah.
No, it is a great community, great school, and we love having New Bloomfield in Sports Soccer Magazine. So excited to hear from you tonight a little bit. But first of all, I want to have you tell us about the encouragement you received from Coach Moore. I love this about you got to have swag. Tell us about what that means. You got to have swag. We've entitled your article about that. So go ahead.
So it started at a practice. We were practicing our pregame stuff, and for Coach Moore, pregame is the most important thing because he was really big on intimidating the other team. You got to make them scared of us because if they come in and they're like, they're going to beat us, then we're already beat. So we were practicing our pregame and we were all like nervous about it because you got all the fans watching you and it's the first thing everyone sees. And he could just tell that all of us were just not having it. And he was like, he stopped it and he was like, you guys just have to have swag. And we all kind of like looked at each other and like, what is he talking about? And from that moment on, we're all like, you know what? We have to have swag and we have to be confident about it because if we're not, then we're going to lose.
So from then on, you were having swag.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good. Did he constantly have to get on you about that, or you got it and you didn't? He didn't have to say anything anymore.
Um, I mean, sometimes, yeah. Definitely the harder games, he would definitely remind us that we need to be confident and have that swagger and that mentality. But I think we kind of all just like took it as it was and we are like, you know what, we need to have fun anyways. My team's a really good group of girls. We all get along great. So it kind of came easy to us. We all kind of took it as it was and we were like, let's just do it and have fun.
Absolutely. And now you can see that right here posted on the screen. You've got from somebody at New Bloomfield School District saying swag surfing.
Yep,
That
that's
is
another.
great.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to share about that. What is swag surfing?
So I was really active at the basketball games. Of course, I didn't play basketball because I gave that up a long time ago. But Coach Moore wanted to start a student section, which our student section wasn't very big. Sometimes it was only composed of me and my friend Macy. But he showed us a song called Swag Surfing, and they actually do it in the Chiefs Stadium. And you start and you're like swaying back and forth, and then the beat drops, and everyone just goes crazy. So at every basketball game, he would play it for us, and it did not matter how many people were in the student section, we would do it, and we just had a blast doing it.
Well, good. Speaking of Chiefs and doing a little swag surfing, you've had to kind of do that down there in Florida. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happening right down where you are?
The guy whose house we're staying in, he is a Broncos fan, and we obviously, being Chiefs fans, we are not Broncos fans at all. So we're gonna buy a T-shirt and write "Go Chiefs" on it, and put it on one of his sculptures that he has out by the pool, just to mess with him.
Okay, yeah, you might even buy him a T-shirt that has Patrick Mahomes on it, where he's got his two rings on his fingers. That's right,
Yeah,
Pat who,
definitely.
right?
At him.
Yeah, very good. You go down to Florida to find a Broncos fan. Isn't that crazy? Broncos and
Yeah.
Chiefs rivalry down in Florida.
Yep.
Hey, how impactful was Coach Moore? Just tell us a little bit about what kind of an impact that he's had on you and your development in softball.
So he became the gym coach, I think, my eighth grade year, I believe. But I actually didn't have him as my gym coach until my senior year because I actually got put in the boys' gym class my eighth grade year. But he's always kind of been the teacher that everyone's comfortable around. Everyone kind of goes to him for advice just because we can relate to him. But on the softball field, my freshman year starting out, I remember him specifically telling me that I need to work on my hitting because he thinks that I could do great in batting. So I took that, and ever since then, he's just continued to push me and really turned me into the player I am today.
Well, and you just had a little bit of cheering going on for you from Zach Moore. Go Reagan. So that's awesome. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us tonight. Thank you guys for making comments. Feel free to make any more comments that you want, or if there's a specific question that you want me to ask Reagan, I would be happy to do that. And she can just tell me I refuse to answer that question if she doesn't want to answer it. Okay, we'll do that. That good?
Yeah.
All right. You also talked about the hard work you put into training and practice. Walk us through that. What was it? What was it like when you were preparing, and just kind of the benefits you saw from all that hard work?
So I started playing competitive ball at 10U, and I was not very good. I played for Crush, and my dad was like, "I'm going to take you to a hitting coach because basically you're terrible." And so I took some hitting lessons and I kind of got my swing down. And then by the end of the season, I was actually doing a lot better. I was kind of at the same level as the girls now. And then through all that, I just kept working. Me and my dad really, we were probably in the cages at least 2 times every week, batting and even pitching for a little while. And then when high school ball started, that's when I started getting to the weight room. Coach Moore was really big on that. He really wanted us to come at least 3 times a week, which it sucked for us because it was at 6 o'clock in the morning, but we still went. But the weight room was definitely probably a lot different than some other weight rooms. You'd walk in and Coach Moore would be blasting Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber, and everyone was just having a good time. So it made it all worth it for sure.
That that sounds like it was really early, and I am sure that you never complained about it. And I'm sure that Coach Moore could, make sure that we knew Reagan never complained about being at weightlifting early in the morning at 6 a.m., right?
I never complained about it.
Well, you must be different. I don't know. That's awful early. That's early even to be getting up.
Yeah.
All right. So, Reagan, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about some of the accolades that you've had in softball? Just tell us a little bit about some of those awards. And real quick before we get in that, Coach said, never, ever. Thanks, Coach. Wanted to hear the truth.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah,
So
tell us about some of the accolades you received. So,
I got second team all district my junior and senior year of high school ball. And then I also got second team all conference this year. And then I've gotten academic all conference all 4 years. And then at the last banquet that I did, I actually got the Wildcat Award, which is probably my favorite award because it's about being a leader and stepping up to the plate and helping your teammates. And that's really what Coach Moore pushed me to do all season. He told me that I needed to step up. So getting that award just felt really good.
yeah. And that, I think that kind of fits into what we were kind of talking about before we got on to the program is that you were sharing that, you still have quite a few friends that are still at New Bloomfield, and probably some of that leadership was taking place with some of them. So, how special are those people to you?
Oh, I love all of them. I mean, my whole softball team, they're all my best friends. And it's very sad leaving them. But even my cousin Lainey, she actually got to play with me last year. She's a freshman. So I really connected with all the freshmen a lot just because it was easier, and I've just always connected with younger people better, I think. And my best friend Macy actually is going to be a junior this year, so I helped her a lot. We actually go and hit in the cages all the time at the softball field. So definitely gonna miss playing with all of them.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they're going to miss playing softball with you as well. So,
I hope so.
and they're going to miss that swag. They're going to miss it. Somebody's got to pick up the swag mantle.
Yeah.
Hey, you have another coach that you were talking about before the program too. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Coach Rinkmeyer and how uh, how she had an impact as well?
So Rinky was my coach freshman to junior year, and she actually moved me from second to third base. She straight up told me, she was like, "Your arm's too good to be playing second base," which I never realized because I didn't test my strength out because I was always like, "Yeah, I'm second baseman. I'm good at it, whatever." But she definitely helped me through a lot. She kind of helped me bring out the confidence level too. I coming in as a freshman, it's really nerve wracking, and I was very shy, but she really pulled me out of my comfort zone and really showed me what I could do on the field and off the field with my education. It was
Hmm.
She's very good.
Cool. So there was one position in softball that you did not like. Tell us which one that was.
Catching. I caught a little bit when I played River League because I would play River League and then competitive ball as well. And I started it and I was like, yeah, I'm going to love this. And then I got into it and I was like, no, I cannot do this. The gear, everything was holding me down. And I was like, it's not for me. It was too hot. Kudos to all the catchers out there, but it's not for me at all.
No, it wouldn't have been for me either. Not at
Yeah.
all. Yeah. We had a couple comments. We had Macy Goff. She said, "I'm actually crying," with has a heart next to it, and then also Diana Smart. She says, "Love my Ray." So
That's my grandma.
yeah, Grandma's got to share the love. Grandma's got to share the love. Let's talk a little bit about your academic awards and what are you most proud of there, Reagan?
I'm probably most proud of all my scholarships. I It was very stressful applying for all of them. My dad actually printed out a list of all the scholarships and like highlighted them for me and like put the due dates of when I needed to turn them in, and he was really on me like every week, like, which ones did you apply for? Did you apply for this one yet? And so definitely all my scholarships that I got quite a few. Along with that, I also got an award for my college credit hours. I actually completed 15 dual credit hours, which means I can go in. I think it's like I finished like half of my freshman year or almost most of it. And then I also got the DAR Good Citizenship Award, and I was also Senior of the Month for the Fulton Breakfast Optimist Club.
That's a lot of stuff right there. You I'm going to get into some of that a little bit more later, but yeah, you were not somebody that seemed to want to just chill and take a side seat. You wanted to be right in on the mix of everything, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I can never sit still. I always have to be doing something.
Very good. Speaking of somebody that was always doing something, I wanted to do a quick shout out here too to Coach Jacob White. He was our coach of the issue this last um, in May June, and he's sponsored by Big Whiskeys, and they want to be able to recognize our great coaches that we have in the area. Great coaches like Coach Moore, Coach Rinkemeyer. We really appreciate everything that they do, and we appreciate Big Whiskeys for making sure that we recognize those people. So, again, want to thank them, and thanks Coach White. And I know he has a little bit changed. He's supposed to be getting married here pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is he going to share any birthday or any wedding cake with you? Did he say that at all, or no?
We'd make jokes with him, asking if we can come to the wedding, and he was like, "Absolutely not." So we are not invited to the wedding.
That sounds like something that he would say. Now, this might sound like something that Jeanette Dixon would say. Love you, Ray, to the moon and back, to infinity and beyond. Love you, Grandma Pickle.
Yep,
All right.
that is actually my other grandma.
Uh huh. So tell me about this is Grandma Pickle. Tell me about that. What's that?
Um, so my cousins, Bailey and Amelia, my grandma makes like these frog eyes, which they're like pickles with cream cheese and like ham rolled around them, and they love them. So they call her Grandma Pickle, and I just thought it was hilarious. So now I call her Grandma Pickle. Everyone calls her Grandma Pickle now.
All right. Well, let me say thank you, Grandma Pickle, for commenting on the program. And anything that you guys want to share about Reagan fond memories, feel free to go ahead and do that. Um, Reagan, you've done an outstanding job. We're going to take a quick break for our sponsor, and then we'll be right back. Looking forward to some of the other things that you're going to share with us tonight.
Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, Paula Benny and her team over there, they do such a great job right here in Central Missouri, and they really work hard at finding jobs for those that are seeking a job and finding employees for those employers that are needing to fill those positions. They do their due diligence, and they make sure that they get a perfect fit on both sides. Not only that, but they also do a fantastic job in our community as far as all the different volunteer and benefit work that they do. Make sure if you know anybody that needs a job, send them to CNS Employment Solutions, and they'll make sure to get you hooked up. Well, we have been visiting with Raegan Smart from former New Bloomfield graduate. Now she is getting ready to do something else, and I'm not quite ready to tell you that yet, but we're going to get to that here in just a moment. And at the very end, I kind of hinted to her that we were going to do a speed round where we will ask her some really tough, quick questions. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want her to leave the program. I don't want her to just all of a sudden hang up on me, Reagan. Don't do that, okay?
I thought about it.
Okay, don't. All right, I'm just kidding. It's going to be fun. We'll be good. Hey, in your article, you were talking about coming from a big family, and I think that we have seen a little bit of that tonight where we've had some people pop on here. They are sharing the love with you, and why don't you take some time to tell us about them and how important they've been to you and um, why love is the biggest value that you've learned?
Yeah, so I have a huge family. Uh, I have a bunch of grandmas, a bunch of grandpas, everything like that. My parents are actually divorced and remarried, so adding on to that family, I have my stepdad Sean's family and then my stepmom Megan's family. So it's just all huge. There's always so many Christmases to go to, which I'm not complaining about because I love Christmas, but yeah, it's huge, and they really are my biggest supporters. I mean, when I have a problem, I go to them, I lean on them, and they really have just made me the person I am today, and they will continue to do that for the rest of my life. They're all so awesome.
Yeah. I want to know who's the loudest one that you can hear when you're out at the ballpark.
Oh, definitely my mom.
Okay.
Definitely my mom. She's always yelling something. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't even have to be. It's not even me. She's cheering for half the time. It's the whole team. She never closes her mouth. I don't know how she does it, but she is definitely the loudest one.
Okay. Anybody give the umpire any trouble?
My dad sometimes. That was mostly whenever he was coaching my competitive team, but most of the time, no. They're very
Yeah.
respectful to them most of the time. They all have their moments, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you about my grandmother. My grandmother was under 5 feet tall, and I could put my arm, right up on her shoulder pretty easily. But my little grandma had a big voice, and she would give the umpires all sorts of problems, and she would yell at them. And there was one time that she went a little bit too far, and the umpire came over to our bench and he said, "If she doesn't get out of here, you guys forfeit the game." My grandma got kicked out of my baseball game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. It was she was not happy about it, but she did leave. She just kind of waddled out of there real fast. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's actually funny you say that. I also have a grandma who is way under 5 foot as well, but instead of giving the umpires crap, she gives me crap all the time. I
Ah,
remember I missed an error and I went and I talked to her after the game and she was like, "Do you have a hole in your glove?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Well, you made that ball went right through your glove." And I was like, "Nanny, like that is so mean." But yeah, she, she loves the sport, that's for sure.
yeah. Well, you know what? Probably served as motivation not to mess up in front of Nanny, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, you heard from Sarah Ellsworth. She said, "Proud of you, Ray." And Riley Morris said, "Love you, Ray." So thank you guys again for all the different comments. We'll take more. We've got more to cover, but I want you to go ahead, Reagan, and tell us a little bit about your mom and then your dad, just the impact that each of them have had on you.
So, as I said, my parents are divorced, but they are happily remarried again. So, I'm not my mom's only child. I actually have a brother named Zach, and then a sister named Riley. She's the one that just commented.
Hmm.
And then, apart from that, my stepdad Sean also has a son named Jalen and a daughter named Katie. So, we're like the bigger, louder household, and then you go to my dad's side, and I'm his only kid, so it's just me there. So it's a good break if I need to, but we're definitely a little crazier on my mom's side, I would say. Growing up in that big of a household, we were always outside doing something crazy, whether it was volleyball or jumping on the trampoline, or we'd like run around the house shooting Nerf guns at each other. But I'd have to say my mom's probably my best friend. I feel like I tell her everything, and if I don't really want to go out and be on the town all night, I'll be on the couch or in bed with her watching some sort of reality TV show.
Okay.
She's definitely one of my best friends for sure.
Oh,
And
very
then
good.
my dad is definitely my other best friend. I don't see him as much as my mom because he works at the fire station actually in Jeff City. But we text, we call every day. When I do see him, there's always something funny going on. He's definitely a comedian. He likes to make the basic dad jokes, and I'm just really appreciative of both of them.
Okay, so we have to hear it. What's your favorite dad joke that your dad's told you?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. He, I don't even know if I can say him on this live. He's just a funny guy. I don't even know if I can think of
Yeah, you're
any.
you're good. You're good. It's just one of those like, Dad, really? Is it one of those?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, okay. I know that
most of them
because
are just him making fun of me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, if your family can't make fun of you, who can?
Yeah.
Do you give it back to them or you just take it?
Oh yeah, I definitely give it back to them.
All right. Diana said, Dad is a practical joker. Uh-huh. And we have
Yep.
confirmation, right?
Yeah.
Well, it makes it fun, doesn't it?
It does. It makes everything a little more entertaining.
Yeah. Now, you just said everything. You're helping me transition right here. You do a lot of stuff. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you were involved in, all those activities at New Bloomfield. Tell us about those and what you learned about being actively involved.
So I was class president all 4 years of Stuco, and I was actually kind of forced into it by my math teacher, Mr. Evans. He actually came up to me and gave me the paper, and he was like, "Sign up as class president because nobody else is gonna." So I never really thought about joining Stuco. I didn't really know what it was all about, but it was really fun. I We help do homecoming every year. We do a lot of fundraisers and everything. It's just super fun to be involved in that. And then I was in National Honor Society. I was treasurer. So that's a lot of your volunteer work. I think I volunteered for at least 3 blood drives this year. And then apart from that, I volunteer for Special Olympics softball and just do a bunch of that. And it just feels good to give back because that's
Absolutely.
just all the rewards you need. I mean, just giving back and seeing everyone so happy about it, it's just
Mhm.
awesome.
Why don't you talk real quick about that? Oh, but before we do that, though, Militia said, "Oh, my heart, so proud of you, little one." So,
Hi,
what do you,
Mom.
yeah, I was gonna say, you gotta say hi, Mom. Come on.
She told me I better, or she was going to be mad at me. So.
All right, good. Why don't you share real quick? You mentioned Special Olympics. Why don't you share, for people that have never been a part of that, why don't you share how special that is?
So I was A plus for the special needs class, actually Miss Klein's class, and I was A plus my junior and senior year for her. So I got really close with them all, which is actually why I figured out I wanted to teach because of her.
Mhm.
But you go and you do track and field, and it's just the connections that you get from these kids is awesome. It's just such
Mhm.
a reward being with all of them and seeing the smiles on their faces and how proud of them they are of themselves. It's just very rewarding. And
Mhm.
if you have never done it before, I would recommend doing it because it is
Yeah.
awesome.
And one thing I would say from just my interaction with a lot of the people in that community, I would say is that there just seems to be a true unconditional love.
Oh, yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
There was one kid, and every time I'd walk in, he would give me a hug or he'd take my backpack off for me or something. It's just so amazing seeing all that.
All right, we've got another comment here from Matthew. It says, "Me and Meg love you. Keep working!" Exclamation point. Keep working. And I
I'm,
also
I'm
see
pretty sure
that.
he's outside by the pool commenting that
Yeah,
right now.
I also see that Chiefs arrowhead probably just rubbing that in to the Denver Bronco fan that's around that way.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned about what you're going to be doing. You talked about education. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about where you committed to play softball at Lincoln University? Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that and the decision that just that process?
Yeah, so I did commit to play softball at Lincoln University. At the beginning of the softball season, Coach Moore kind of pulled me aside and he was like, "Do you want to play in college?" And I was like, "I don't know." Like, I never really thought that I would just because I thought it would be done after high school. But he ended up contacting one of the Lincoln coaches and he was at my next game and he talked to me and I was like, well, maybe this is something I want to do. So we went and we talked to the coach and we toured the campus and I was like, I might as well do it because if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it. So then I committed and now I'm going to go there and I'm going to get my degree in education and just keep working at that.
All right, so education. What is your favorite subject?
I would say my favorite subject is English. I love writing.
Hmm. Is that kind of what you're kind of gearing yourself towards?
Well, I want to be a third grade teacher,
Okay.
definitely elementary education.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, if I ever decided to go into being a college professor or anything, I would definitely teach probably composition or something like that.
All right, we got Coach Moore saying, "Go Blue Tigers." There you go.
Yeah,
Shout
he
out
was
on the
also a
program.
tiger, so
Yeah, I kind of thought he was. That's
yeah.
great. That's good. They're gonna love having you there, and your family's gonna love having you close, right?
Oh yeah, they are very excited.
Yeah, good. That way they can come out there and they can be yelling just as they were doing at New Bloomfield, and your mom's gonna be standing out, and what is it, nanny? She can be out there and she can be hollering at you too, right?
Oh yeah, they will all be there. I know that for sure.
All right, Riley said, "So proud of you, love you," and she said, "SM." I'm putting it up
Oh,
there.
so much. Love you so much.
Thank you. You know, I'm 57. I don't know all those abbreviations. I apologize.
It's okay. I
All
don't
right.
even know half of them either, so
Okay, good. I don't feel so bad then. I don't feel so bad then. What are some of your life goals as you're getting ready for this next phase in life? What are you looking forward to?
I'm definitely looking forward to playing a lot of softball, and I'm looking forward to getting my degree in elementary education and starting my career in that. And then with that, I'm gonna continue to get my bachelor's or my doctorates, probably my doctorates, so I can maybe become a school principal or even higher up. But I'm really excited about playing softball. Even though school comes first, I'm most excited about that right now.
There's a reason why, and we're going to ask that question right now. There's a reason why. It's because tell us about softball being an escape and why having fun is such an important part of why you play the game.
Well, I don't even know. I guess every time I step out on the field, like everything I'm worried about, whether it's a class I'm worried about, if I'm there's some drama in my life, as soon as I step on the field, it all goes away. It doesn't matter as long as I'm playing the game. I could be mad at the world and I can go out and hit and everything just goes away. And softball has just really made everything better for me. It has always been that thing that I can go to just to escape from everything else.
Well, there you go. You did it. You got through all those questions with flying colors, and now you are prepped and you are ready for the speed round. Now, if Jay was on here, I would have him do the speed round theme song, which we really don't have. I just have him make up something, and he comes up with it. It's pretty funny. I'm not going to do that because I would absolutely butcher it. So we're just going to skip past the theme song, and we're going to get right into the questions if you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. What is your favorite go-to snack or meal after a game?
Ooh. Probably Sonic slushies. After I remember after so many games, me and my friends, we would go to Sonic and get a slushie. I remember I would call my mom and be like, "Is it okay if we go, even if it's a school night?" And she's like, "Whatever, just get back at a decent time." But yeah,
All right.
we
What
love Sonic.
particular flavor? What flavor?
I usually get cherry limeade.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah,
I don't think you can go wrong with cherry limeade.
definitely not.
Okay. Do you have a favorite ice cream?
Hmm. I really like Neapolitan ice cream. Yeah, I'd say
Well,
that's probably my favorite.
okay. Well, I'm going to get really specific. I like to go to Cold Stone and have mocha ice cream with pecans and maraschino cherries. That is amazing.
I'll have to
I,
try it out.
I'm just saying. And you know what the funny thing is? When I walk in, they already start pulling the maraschino cherries out of the refrigerator. And that's the sad thing because I obviously go there too much with my wife. So,
Well, I'll definitely try that out. I have a
yeah.
gift card for it, so
Okay, you need to try it out. It's good stuff. You can you can tell them Kirk from Sports Locker said to come in and try his special. They'll know which one to get.
perfect. I'll do it.
No, you might want to look and see what you want. You'll find some good stuff in there. So, All right, here's another question. If you were to say that there is one chore that I absolutely cannot stand doing, what is it and why? And I also want to make sure that if there's any family members that want to chime in and throw in some comments on that, feel free to do that. But what is that chore that you can't stand doing, Reagan?
Probably laundry. I do my own laundry most of the time. Sometimes I get a little lazy and my mom has to switch it to the dryer for me. But that I hate doing laundry, and it's never ending. There's always something to wash, and it's the worst thing to do.
Okay. Yep. And probably you were probably made to do laundry because you were constantly getting all of your clothes dirty from sliding into bases and stuff like that.
Yep, definitely. There was always stains, dirt stains, rips in my pants, something.
Guess what mom said?
She
I
agreed.
was going to say laundry for sure. Thank you, mom.
Yeah, she always gets mad at me. She's like, "Will you switch your laundry?" And I'm like, "No," and then she'll do it for me.
We've got another one. Clothes in the trunk of her car.
Yep, that happens too sometimes. I'm busy. It just builds up, but there are no
Uh,
clothes in my trunk right now. So,
okay, good. Very good. If you were to transport anywhere that you want, I mean, I know you're in Florida right now, but if there was anywhere in the world that you would like to go, where would that be and why? Someplace you would
ooh,
love to see.
hmm. I'd probably say the Bahamas. I've always wanted to go to the Bahamas. I've tried to convince my parents multiple times. We haven't gone yet, but maybe eventually we will go. But it just seems like such a fun place to be.
And there it is. Gave you the opportunity. That is not a shameless plug. She would like to go to the Bahamas. There you go. It is, you know what? They can play this over and over again, and it'll be a constant reminder. She wants to go to the Bahamas. So maybe they can say, well, if you were to accomplish something, then we would take you. I don't know. I'm just going to leave that up to them. But I don't want to get in trouble by your parents, so I'm going to stop on that now. All right. What is your funniest moment that you ever had out on the softball field?
Oh gosh. I'm very clumsy. I feel like I'm falling all the time. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm always hurting myself somehow. And I think I was at second base and we were warming up before the inning and I went to throw the ball and my cleat had gotten stuck in my shoelace and I toppled down. And everyone was laughing at me. It was very embarrassing, but that's probably the best memory I have is just because everyone was just thought it was the funniest thing ever.
It probably wasn't funny right at the time, but then when you look back on it, it's funny, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I looked
Yeah.
back at the game footage and I was like, "That's hilarious." It was something else.
Well, I was running to second base and I dove into second, and the ground was a little bit too tacky. And then my legs literally went over the top of my head. And
Ooh,
I don't know what they call that, but I called it pain. It did not feel good. And I'm sure it didn't look real good either. But when other people can laugh, that's what we do. We're out there to make other people laugh.
yeah,
Okay, Macy said the Bahamas is at the top of the bucket list. And then, of course, your mom, she came right back in and said, here's the key. Here is a key to the Bahamas. Maybe if she did her laundry.
I'll just have to start doing it then, and I'll take Macy with me.
Okay, Jeanette said she gets that from her mom. LOL. Mel, love you. All right, that is funny.
Yeah.
Well, you did an outstanding job. Any additional information that you want to give us, or anything that anybody you want to do a shout out to?
I want to do a shout out to all my coaches, my mom, my dad, all my friends on this live, everyone on this live. Thank you for watching me, and thank you for being such big inspirations in my life. And thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for agreeing to come on. I mean, man, you're on vacation and you said you would come on here, so that's pretty cool that we're able to do that.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
So you've been pretty busy because you've been in between work and going different places, and so yeah, glad you were able to
Yeah.
do that. Well, if you will hold on for just a moment, I'm going to go ahead and close out the program, and then I'll just quickly visit with you afterwards. But Raegan, thanks so much, and we're looking forward to all of your success over there at Lincoln, and hopefully we'll be able to have you on again and kind of keep us updated on how you're doing over there.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to finish up with Mom saying, "Great job, sis. Have fun on vacay." So there you go. All
I'll
right.
see you when I get home, Mom.
Yeah. All right. I will be right back with you here in just a moment. Okay.
Okay.
All right, everybody. We have been talking to Raegan Smart. She is getting ready to become a Lincoln Blue Tiger, and but right now she's having fun down there in Florida. It has been a great privilege and honor to do her article in Sports Soccer Magazine as well as having her on the program tonight. And just like Macy is saying, so proud of you, Ray. We are proud and thankful to be able to have her on the program. Thank you guys so much for joining us and all of your comments that you made. Make sure that you continue to support and encourage Raegan as she's going on into her career at Lincoln. So, this is your host, Kirk DeMars. As always, thank you for joining us on One Nation, a Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I will see you next week at the same time. Until then, God bless you and have a great week.